welcome to our Sexpert panel on pleasure products and adult toys, hosted by Lavology University and sponsored by Momentum, the first physician-created FDA-approved condom and personal lubricant line. My name is Tamara Bell. I am a certified sex educator, love coach, and ambassador to students for Lavology University. I'm also the founder of the Home Pleasure Party Plan Association, also known as HPPA, and I am your moderator for today. I am now going to introduce to you our esteemed panelists, and can each of you tell us a bit about yourself, your work, and if you're giving a free gift for one or more of our attendees. So we're going to start with Dr. Ava. I met Dr. Ava about 16 years ago. We clicked right away. Not only is she my mentor, my advisor, and my boss lady, but more importantly, she's my friend. Dr. Ava, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do to keep love alive?
Thank you, Tamara. So I'm a clinical sexologist. I am an ASEX certified sex counselor and approved training provider, author of 11 books, speaker and founder of Lavology University, where I absolutely love to train love and relationship coaches all over the world. And Tamara is my right arm. She is amazing with my students. We were just saying that she's actually the fairy godmother to all students, as well as the ambassador and the mentor. So I'm so happy to be here on this panel because I love sex toys.
Well, thank you, Dr. Ava. Next up, we have Dr. Dre Birch. Now, I was introduced to him by my baby sister, who is a pharmacist, and they went to school together. So I was dubbed Dr. Dre's fairy godmother.
I love her. Like, literally, she's amazing.
He is full of life and love, and I love talking to him about everything sex. He is also my forever friend. So, Dr. Dre, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Hey guys, so I am Dr. Dre. I'm a board certified OBGYN. I am a chemist, sexual wellness expert, and founder of Momentum, which is the first FDA cleared condom and lube line created by a physician in the United States. Through my products and education, I help all people have a more satisfying sex life. So if you're ready to get in momentum, go to feelthemoment.com. Okay, so my years of being a chemist, my 5 years of being a chemist, my 15 plus years of being an OBGYN, my forever years of being a gay guy has birthed the most inclusive product and brand to the market, which is Momentum Intimacy. And I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy to sponsor this. Thank you for having me, Tamara and Dr. Ava. You know, I love you, love you, love you.
Thank you. Okay, Ms. Nicole. I met Nicole at a trade show in the Cal Exotic booth, which I love their booth. She's always super cheerful, and we built a really great friendship over the years. I was there when she was pregnant with her baby. She is a marketing guru for Cal Exotics, or Calex. I keep calling them Calex, but it's Cal Exotics. So Nicole, can you tell us a little bit about what you do in the
Absolutely. Thank you, Tamara. You are always so sweet, and you have been a ray of sunshine in this industry every single time I see you. So thank you for that. My name is Nicole Grossman, and I am the Director of Marketing here at Cal Exotics. And Cal Exotics is the first female-owned adult novelty company. Our founder, Susan Colvin, if you don't know who she is, please Google it right now. You will learn so much about her and see what such an amazing story. She really revolutionized this industry and has helped us be here today. We wouldn't be here without her. She helped bring inclusivity to the market. She helped expand the reach. She helped bring premium quality motors and materials to the market. So we really do owe her a huge thank you and gratitude. So please, if you don't know Cal Exotics or our founder, please check it out. And I am very happy to be here.
Thank you. Yeah, I love Susan. So,
and she loves you.
Next up, Coyote. So Coyote, she's an icon in the industry. She takes the most amazing selfies. That's what I love. I stalked her for years before I got the courage to walk up and talk to her. She is very well loved and respected in the adult industry, and she's sweet and helpful to everyone. Well, most everyone. So, Coyote, can you tell us a little bit about what you do?
Ooh, that intro. Hello, and thank you for having me here. I am super excited and feel very honored to be amongst this group of people. I am the Director of Purchasing and Product Development for a group of retail stores, Good Vibrations, Babeland, and Camouflage. I've been working for Good Vibrations mainly for 6 or 18 years, 16 in buying and then 2 years in sales and in the stores, and have been doing product development, packaging, marketing, vendor collaborations, and just everything having to do with everything in the stores. And we were founded in 1977 by a sex therapist who wanted to create a safe and comfortable place for, at that time in 1977, women and their partners to shop and ask questions and be educated about their bodies and sexuality. And since then, obviously, we have become a place for everybody to shop comfortably, and really a leader in the industry with regards to everything having to do with brick and mortar stores and adult. And it is a joy, and it's been a wonderful, wonderful 18 years.
Great.
Great.
So last but not least, we have Kimberly Varner. I met Kim at a show. It's been about 16 years, and I was just starting HPPA. Kim has since become my right hand. I'm Dr. David's right hand, Kim's my right hand. And she keeps me grounded. She is my comforter. She's my bulldog at times when I need her. But most importantly, she is my true friend, and she's my sister. And I appreciate and love her beyond words. So Kimberly, or Kim, can you tell us a little bit about what you do?
That's very sweet. Thank you, Tamara. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Good afternoon. I'm Kim Varner. She did introduce me very formally. I'm Kim Varner. And I've been in business for 17 years as Kimbra's Closet. We're a home party plan a home party plan business. And I'm located in Kansas City, Missouri. I'm very honored to be a part of this panel. Thank you, Tamara. Thank you, Dr. Ava. I appreciate it so much. I have my party plan. I also am the creator of the Fun with Fellatio, a hands-on guide to giving good head workshop. Oh. It's been very successful throughout the home party plan community as an opportunity for home party plan planners to, home party plan owners to have a second revenue stream. And so the course itself goes through 24 different techniques for giving good head. I wrote this class after it's a lot, yes.
No, that's great.
I discovered that I had a talent for writing. I knew I had this talent for writing. My master's degree is in human resources development. So I've always developed training, and I thought about how I could transfer that to the sexual health and wellness field. And so that course, I've had it up and running now for about 8 to 10 years. It's been done, and I tested it as well, did some beta testing as well before I put it out into the market. I am also a certified love coach through Dr. Ava's Loveology University course. Woohoo! And I'm also an ACS certified sexologist.
Awesome.
Well, thank you, Miss Kim, in your little head class.
Look, I have questions for her already. I'm like,
Right. I'm taking notes.
yeah, I'm like, how many techniques?
So let's begin our discussion on pleasure products and adult toys. And I'd like to ask all of the panelists the same question. That question is, what is it that you love most about pleasure products and adult toys? We'll start with you, Dr. Ava.
Well, what I love the most about sex toys is the surprising health benefits. Obviously, they include pleasure and orgasm, but sex toys can also help you to reduce stress and pain. It can definitely be a sedative that helps you to sleep. and boost your immunity. But my favorite is that sex toys can actually help you to grow your brain cells, especially when you use a variety of sex toys. We need variety to continue growing our brain cells. And an analogy that I often use when I talk to people who think they don't need sex toys is that I say that sex toys are like having a really yummy dessert. So you don't have to indulge in dessert every single day, but when you do, it is deliciously satisfying.
Ooh, that one's good.
Dr. Dre, same question.
Well, you know, as a gynecologist, a gay gynecologist, an orgasm a day keeps the doctor away. So I would say sex toys are amazing to help you heighten your orgasms. So I would tell you to use them as much as you can to have fun. So keep giving your orgasms.
Diane here. Coyote.
So I just love a lot of things because I deal with, you know, sex toys in many different ways, professionally, personally, community-wise, et cetera. But I love that they offer something different. They help you in your self-exploration and exploration with a partner. And I think that it's just really fabulous and expansive to have this whole category of toys that can allow someone who thinks they know like their body or how they orgasm or how their partner comes or whatever it is. And then you introduce something or a few other things and it can just be something completely explosively different. And I love that we can offer that to people.
Great. Kim Varner.
What I like about sex toys and sexual health and wellness is watching the light bulbs flick on. I like it when my customers and my friends learn something new about their bodies, about what they like, when their partners become excited or re-energized about sex. I love it when I have customers, husbands who come to me and say, thank you. Thank you for introducing my wife or my partner to this, or thank you for introducing my husband to this, because a light bulb went off and we discovered we've missed a whole lot of things. Mm-hmm. And so I like the sexual, the educational part of it. And it's not boring education. It's fun, it's fulfilling. And I would say it's almost 75% of what keeps me in this business. I love being able to watch the light bulbs come on.
It's so true, Kim. You know, you made me realize when I counsel women, especially who've never had an orgasm, and I introduce them to a sex toy, it just blows them away in a very positive way. They've experienced their very first orgasm with a sex toy. So thank you. I love your light bulb analogy. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Reasons why I got into this business and into home parties is to be able to take it to them. So that was great. Miss Nicole.
What I love, I think, most about sex toys is really the freedom that it gives you, because we all feel pressure in so many different areas in our life, from work to home life to children to so many things, and sex toys really just gives you that freedom to explore, to play, to be whoever you want to be in that moment, and then you can just go right back. Okay, we're gonna have this scene, we're gonna do this step, and we're gonna have so much fun. And then, you know what? Hey, I gotta go do the dishes. I'll see you in 5. So I just love that it gives you that exploration and that ability to play, whether it's alone or with a partner. So I really do love that.
Nice. All right, Dr. Ava, this question is for you. I know that you invented a sex toy. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, it was a very long time ago. It's probably considered a vintage sex toy right now. And I found one because I knew you were going to ask me about that. So I did. I invented something called the Trigasm. This one is for women. And it has 3 separate attachments, which is what I wanted. I wanted women to experience the ultimate orgasm, internal and external. So there's an attachment for the clit, the G-spot, and the anus. And by the way, what you don't know is that I also invented the Trigasm for men to stimulate the head of the penis with a suction cup and a vibrating bullet in between the testicles, and then a probe for prostate. But it never got produced, never got manufactured. So sorry, guys, I did try.
What? Really?
I was taking notes.
But
Yeah.
I'm
I
sure
know, I was like,
there are a
I didn't
couple
see that
cinemas
one.
out there. Dr. Dre, you must know of an amazing sex toy for men, right? That boosts them into body melting orgasms, I'm sure. And Nicole too.
We have quite a few. We have quite a few that we have. For men.
Yeah, so there's a lot of good toys out there, and yeah, I remember seeing your product. When did you actually? When was it released?
2003. So I invented it in 2002, and Doc Johnson actually manufactured it for me. And we did a lot of publicity on it, a lot of TV shows, and I did a lot of seminars. So I had fun with it.
Great,
Thank you
great.
for asking me about that.
Yeah. Dr. Dre, what's different about Momentum?
Oh, okay. That's an easy question there. So momentum, when I first created the brand, first created the business, I've worked, well, first of all, my background in women's health as an OBGYN, my background as a chemist, a commercial chemist, and then being a gay guy. And just, I worked for many different companies before, lube companies before. I worked for major magazines before I got into this business. So when I started to look at the market, I said, hey, I wanted to create something that was for everyone. So that's why I have my lines for him, for her, for them. Okay. So for him, for her, for them. And I take care of trans people and non-binary people. So that was very important to have them be part of this line as well. So that's really the difference with Momentum. We have a silicone lube, we have a water-based lube, we have a hybrid lube, which is silicone plus water, and we have our organic aloe lube. And we have one more formula I'm working on that will be out in November, likely. Yeah.
So you're like very inclusive for everyone.
Everyone. So this is my belief. All people, despite your gender, cisgender people, all people deserve pleasure.
Absolutely.
Nicole, what does your what role does sex education play at Cal Exotics?
Well, sex education is a huge component for our company. We were actually one of the first within the adult space to really embrace that community. We've done so many things over the years, from sex educators to actual MDs to sexologists, and just really taken that education and brought it to our customers, to the end consumers. We do a ton of educational video. We actually have a partnership with a doctor. Her name is Dr. Jill. She is the only one in the world that has 3 degrees in human sexuality. So she's pretty amazing. And that makes her special in itself with her 3 degrees. But really taking that education and putting it into a way that is easily digestible, easy to understand, and really accessible to everyone. And so that's really what we try to do. And we do a lot of partnerships with sex educators and doctors for our products. We have a line with OBGYN, Dr. Sherry Ross, so similar to Dr. Dre. She has a line of products that include dilators and Kegel exercisers, including lubricants as well. We have a partnership with Dr. Laura Berman, who has been, you guys probably recognize her name. She's been a long time personality, and she is a sex educator as well. And so we really just try to take that credibility, because that's what doctors and sex educators, they really bring that credibility. There's so many toys out there, but we partner with them and we really work with them to make what they want and what they've been asked for by their partners, which I'm sure is exactly what Dr. Dre did. And so I think it's really important, and Cal Exotics has been a pioneer of that for many, many years. So we're really proud of our work with that.
And I know that you guys do a lot of work with college events, and you guys also partnered with an organization for breast cancer as well.
We have a line called Inspire. We partnered with Living Beyond Breast Cancer. we wanted to give back as a company. We donate to a variety of organizations, but we really felt that within the cancer community, there was such a lack of information on the effects of the body when you go through some kind of a treatment for patients. And we really wanted to partner with someone who really felt that that was an area of need as well. So Living Beyond Breast Cancer has been really great. They have workshops on sexual health and life after cancer, and really, how it's affected your body and what products and things you can use to help kind of get your mojo back and get things moving and shaking again. So we're really proud of that partnership.
Great. Yeah, we've done some stuff with you guys
Yes.
on that. Coyote, what inspired you to join Good Vibrations?
So I moved to I've known people for many years who had worked at or shopped at the store. And I started in 2003, 2 days after I moved from Oregon down to the Bay Area. And I had some friends who worked there, and it really, what started as a temp job, I moved to the Bay Area with a whole plan for my life. And as we all know, you can plan everything out and things come and show you that you were not on the right path. And so I started doing customer service and sales over the phone. And it put me in contact with people from all over the country, sharing some very intimate hurts and joys and concerns and wants with me, this little person who just moved to the big Bay Area. And you're talking to me about surviving breast cancer and having to reorient yourself with your body, or having a divorce in your 60s and having to figure out pleasure again with a new partner, and all of these different things. And I mean, put really plainly, I fell completely in love with the mission. I fell in love with how we offer judgment-free, shame-free education, that if you come to me and be like, I love this, or I'm wanting this, that I'm not like, oh God, whoa, you want that? That we're like, oh, super interesting. Let me talk to you about that. Let me ask you some questions. And just the whole philosophy of our mission being education focused, having quality products, it blew my whole understanding of sex and sexuality open, and getting to meet people like Dr. Carol Queen and other sex revolutionaries who I met in my first year, Annie Sprinkle, just so many people. It completely, it just spoke to me in a very deep way. And I literally abandoned all my dreams and just delved right into my work with the company, and never looked back.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful thing what we do.
Yeah, Good Vibes, and as far as the industry concerned, is a really good, being retail and wholesale. You guys are really good on the educational part.
Yeah, it was a founding principle of us. We, because our founder was a sex therapist, she didn't just want you to come in and buy, which she did, but she wanted you to understand, what are you looking for? What is, what's your solution you're hoping to find? Oh, you can't have an orgasm? Let me show you all the ways and talk to you about the journey of that orgasm, because the journey is where you're learning, right? The orgasm is the orgasm, but the journey is like, do you have trauma in your body? Are you, checking out, or is it just really like, you don't know what kind of sensation your body wants? And so education is like the founding principle, as well as accessibility.
Right.
Yeah.
Kim, from
Yes.
a party plan perspective, how do you, or what steps do you take to ensure that you're bringing in the right products for your customers?
Well, the first step I take to make sure I'm bringing in the right products is, before I have a party, or if I'm doing a one-on-one consultation, I ask a lot of questions, a plethora of questions about what my customer likes, what they like as far as the feeling, if they like a certain level of intensity or a certain level of gentleness, if they like vaginal penetration or anal penetration, or just clitoral stimulation or external stimulation, all of the things that they're into. I do a lot of fact finding. And once I've done that, and even when I'm having parties and entertaining several guests at the parties. I still take time to do fact finding with each of those customers who are making a purchase. I don't want to sell them something just for the sake of selling something. I want to make sure that I'm providing them with the service that's going to help them have a pleasurable experience. That does a lot of things. It helps them open up to what their sexuality is. It also helps me to build my credibility with those customers. It also helps to build trust with them. And so when they have questions or they want to come back for other things, they don't feel hesitant at all. So that's the biggest thing that I do, is the fact finding.
Yeah, that's great. Dr. Dre, we have a viewer asking, what is your favorite type of personal lubricant?
Oh,
It depends on what kind of sex I'm having.
good answer.
Look at y'all see the ladies perk up. They're like, oh, tell us more, Dr. Dre. So I would say butt sex, silicone, quickies, water. I would say if I'm with someone who wants to last a little longer, hybrid. And for my organic guys, aloe.
Oh,
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, hey, that gave me some extra knowledge.
Like a full range right there. I'm loving it.
Hey, I'm single. I'm single.
Need one of each.
I'm single. Yeah. You never know who you're gonna meet, right?
Ava, one of your students is asking, why did you include sex toys in your course for healing?
I included sex toys as a possible healing solution for victims of sexual abuse, because sex toys can actually help you to regain that sense of personal power, as it literally puts the control back into your own hands. So when you use a sex toy, you are the only one who has a say in how it's going to be used and where it's going to be used. So you can direct your own play, and you can take your time, allowing yourself to feel pleasure on your own terms. And so I think it makes it easier to gain access to positive feelings about touch when you don't have the possible trigger of an actual human being touching you, if you are suffering from trauma. And as we all know, the stepping stones to sexual healing are kind of different for everybody, but I recommend sex toys as a powerful way to turn on your desire button. There's an unlimited freedom, as Nicole said so eloquently, and you can experience that when you make the kind of love to yourself that you want in order to heal. So that's why I included it in the healing course. But we also have a course just on pleasure products and sex toys, which is massive, because we include a whole plethora, as Dr. Dre said, a lovely word, of sex toys of every material you can think of, and to pleasure every orientation, and to really educate people, including some retailers too. A lot of retailers have taken our sex toy course and told us that it was really helpful for them as well.
Yeah, and they also made a statement that they love the healing. It not only helped them to understand, but also heal themselves. So they said thank you.
There's also some physical needs that sex toys can really help with, whether it's vaginal dilators in terms of, women that have, issues with, their vaginal canal being open, transgenders transitioning have used dilators as well. We've had men that are going through prostate, that have had prostate cancer, and they need a penis pump to help get an erection, and they need to use it several times a day. I actually didn't know that until I had a consumer call and was asking, and they told me the story. I was like, oh my God, stop everything, get this person what they need, like tomorrow, like get it to them, because they need to do it so constantly. So I think that there's this element of, real, actual issues that people need assistance with, and these toys can do that. We call them toys, but really these devices can really help with that. So I think it's super important to know.
Yeah, they have therapeutic value, and I agree with you. And I'm so happy that Cal Exotics has some of those pleasure products like the dilators to help women who might be experiencing pain during intercourse or, just atrophy. So thank you, Nicole and Susan, for doing that.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
it's
you're
not,
very
not
welcome.
always just about just pleasure, but it's like you said, it's also health for health issues as well.
Mhm.
Yes.
Coyote, inspiring minds want to know, what is your favorite adult toy and why?
Better be
Okay.
products.
Yeah,
That seems like a hard question for her.
I know. So, I mean, it really is truly, because I feel like I've been curating the selection for retail stores for 16 years. And if I only brought in my favorites, well, it would be a very small store. And, the joy of pleasure products and the kind of the industry that we're in is there's so many that can offer what someone needs. And when you meet any person, I'm going to do like the worst marketing answer for you, Tamara. You're just going to hate it forever, because there is no, I have my personal favorites. You can come ask me some other time, but but in the industry, like I have ones that I've looked back over the last 16 years and been like, oh, that was just a game changer. That was amazing. That was hilarious. But in terms of the products that are out there, it's really hard, because with the 6 of us here, if we were all like, oh, here's what I love, there's 6 different answers. We might have some overlaps, but do you like precise pinpoint? Do you like a nice kind of tinny, buzzy vibration? Or do you like that deep thuddy? Do you want it to be like super fast and broad, covering the whole vulva or the whole penis? Or do you just want the head and you just want the clit? Like there's air pleasure circulating around the clitoris. There's thrusting. I mean, it's massive amounts of products on the market. And so my favorite is a product that is marketed correctly for what it does, that is not going to break when you put pressure on it, that is quality materials, and that is just made with an actual body in mind. Because I have seen products, which anyone who's been in this industry for more than maybe like 6 years has seen products that are just bone straight, and they're like, for your G-spot. Sure, at the right angle, in the right position, but like, can you give me a little curve, just a little arc? And so I think that, marketed correctly, quality materials, good motor, appropriately priced for the quality of the product. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always tell people
Answer.
there's over 20,000 items in this industry. I mean, which one do you pick? And it's hard. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't say one. I can say a whole bunch of them, because there are a lot
Sure.
of them that I do love.
And there's also others that I just appreciate for existing in the world. And I don't have the body part that they were designed for, but there are just beautiful, innovative, inspirational products that I'll never get to use. But when I first saw them, my jaw was just on the ground and I was like, that's beautiful. So, it's like, this is an amazing industry with incredible products. And I'm just really grateful to have it and to see it and to be able to be a part of it.
Good. So Kim,
Yes.
Ellen, she wants to know, how do you as a home party plan owner keep your customers informed about what's out and available in the adult toy market?
Oh, gosh. Oh, well, and just to start with what you just said, there's so many products available out there. And of course, I don't try to keep them familiar with everything, but I try to keep my customers abreast of everything. I use social media. I also use email blasts. I have it, believe it or not, still in 2021, I have a text group. And I also will call customers on occasion. If I come across something that when I see it, it just makes me think of a particular customer. That's how long I've had a lot of my customers. If I think of a particular customer, I call them and just say, hey, let me shoot you this picture. You don't have to buy it now. I just want you to see it, take a look at it. And depending on the customer, I may even send them the product just because I think it's ideal for them. So mostly I use social media, I use texting, I use emailing, and of course, when I have parties, I actually do short commercials during the program, during the show, during the presentation.
Nice. I mean, there's a lot of stuff coming out, so sometimes
A
it's
lot.
hard, but yeah, that's good. That's good. Nicole, what is the latest technology in pleasure products from Calex?
Oh my gosh. So every 6 months, if you're part of the industry, you know, we release new products. And so we're actually in the middle of that right now. So we're super excited. So we have some new technology. I have some behind me, you can see. But one of them is our MyPod. So you can see here, you're like, oh, what is that? Is it a light? Is it a diffuser? Essential oil? I don't know. And you open it up and oh, guess what? It's a vibrator. So what it is Calex really takes a look at the market. What is appropriate? What is needed? What are people wanting, asking for? We get a lot of feedback from our partners, similar to like a partner like Coyote at Good Vibrations, and you know, just a lot of feedback. And so from a technology perspective, we really look to see what's out there in, you know, everyday use and how can we apply that to pleasure products. So what this is it's a wireless charging case, and you have a product. This particular one is a bullet, and you insert it into the case, and you can kind of see the little light. It actually sanitizes the item within 20 minutes. It's super discreet. You can have it sitting on your table, your desk. No one would know what it is. And so we really brought that technology that you know and love for other products. They won't, you know, say what those are, but very similar technology. So that's a bullet. We actually have a brand new item, which is a ring. So this is super brand new. So it's like, ta-da! So it's a vibrating penis ring and has that same functionality. It's a vibrating ring, like I said, but this really cool case charges it automatically and sanitizes it, which is a big deal. So we're super excited about that. It's a patent pending technology. So we really are excited about that. And the fact that we have the bullet and now this ring, it's really just kind of expanding that basic technology that we love in other products. And now we're bringing it to the world of pleasure products. So that's one of our newest ones. So I hope you
Self-sanitizing is amazing. So
No.
let me ask you, so Nicole, after you use the product, you don't need to wash it with soap and water, or you still do need to do that?
We recommend that you wash it with soap and water, just you know, to get anything off of it.
Right.
And then you pat it dry and then you put it in. So it's going to sanitize. So the technology we see in other products, people do it with their makeup brushes, their phones. There are other products out there that you could sanitize anything. Like a friend of mine has like this, almost looks like a little refrigerator for baby bottles. And it's the same thing. They do it for 10 minutes and they can put anything in there. So similar technology, but this is made for your particular pleasure product, and there's handy little lights so you know that it's working and you know how much it's charged. So really just bringing that technology into this pleasure product. And yes, we want you to wash it, soap and water, pat it dry, and then put it in there for that little extra sanitizing.
That's brilliant.
For those rings. I
It
mean,
is.
Yeah, I love that you did a vibrator and a ring. So
yeah, we're super excited. People have been really receptive of it. We have some really cool videos showing kind of how it works. I think it's a technology we all know. And so it's an easy transition. Oftentimes we see these products that have all these like bells and whistles and you're like, I don't even know where to start. But this technology is very familiar. And so transitioning it to a pleasure product is pretty seamless, I think.
yeah. Dr. Ava, what kinds of sex toys do you think that we need that we don't already have in the industry?
So I would still like to see more sex toys for people with disabilities
yes.
that can be used hands-free for
Yes.
masturbation and also for couple sex. Now, having said that, there are some pleasure products that make sex easier for people, you know, living with a disability or a health condition. The Liberator Wedge, for example, excuse me, it can help people, you know, with support for their back or their neck or even their knees during sex. And I do like the Hot Octopus. That's a hands-free masturbation sleeve for men. Of course, Cal Exotics, Sheology dilators are amazing. And our sponsor, Momentum, offers gift boxes, which have lube and handcuffs and blindfolds that can make sex even more exciting when you take away the sense of touch and the sense of sight. But I have been trying to get sex toys for the disabled for decades, and I had all of these visions that I took to manufacturers, and basically they all just said, sorry, we're not going to make enough money doing that. So that was a long time ago. I'm hoping that now manufacturers are seeing the market differently, because there are a lot of people who have limited, physical limits to using sex toys. And then cancer, as Nicole was saying, when you're going through chemo and radiation, you're feeling very lethargic, and you're definitely not feeling sexy. So I think a lot of sex toys could be manufactured for people who want to remain intimate, and who want to have self-dignity. So you have to be creative with sex toys. Like, one of my ideas was to have a pillow that you could put on the lap of the person with the disability, if they're in a wheelchair, for example. And then underneath the pillow is where the sex toy resides, so that they do have dignity as if they have a caretaker, walking in and out of their room. So that's what my head's at, is I really want more sex toys to help people, because we're all going to be disabled in some way in the bedroom, as we age, even if it's just with arthritis. So thank you for asking me that. I really would love to hear more about those kinds of sex toys in the future.
Yeah, I was on a panel
Right.
earlier, and this last week, and they talked about inclusivity, and so that sort of came up, and I think manufacturers are starting to look at bringing products in for people who, who aren't really included a lot. And so I think that in the future, you're going to see, or we're going to start seeing products come out around that.
Yeah, because a myth is that people with disabilities don't want sex. They think about sex even
Yes,
more than people without
Yes,
disabilities.
they
Yeah.
buy.
absolutely.
And actually, one of silicone dildos, the first manufacturer in the US of silicone dildos was by this man, Gosnell, who was a paraplegic, and he wanted to have realistic, phallic looking dildos that he could use with his partner. And then he realized that, like, so many people in his community also wanted that. They didn't want glitter, they didn't want hot pink, they wanted like skin tones, veins, for it to be soft but firm enough for penetrative use. And that innovation from personal use, I've seen it over the last 18 years. That spark of like, oh, I need this thing. It's brilliant. I mean, he changed the entire industry. If you look around now, silicone dildos are like, everyone makes them. And it used to just be hand poured literally like in his house. And, that's how all of those silicone manufacturers in the US started. And that came from his personal intimate need. And it's gorgeous. It's amazing.
That's fantastic. He was a pioneer. I love that.
Oh, absolutely.
Just that one idea.
Mhm.
Let's see, Dr. Dre, one of our older viewers, is asking, as an OBGYN and lubricant product maker, what should mature women use as a personal lubricant?
Mature meaning like dry vagina mature? What do you mean by mature?
Yeah.
Is that what you mean? Like vaginal atrophy, like lack of estrogen as you age?
Yeah, I mean, like I make a joke that every time I cough, powder comes out. So yeah, like.
Cameron, I love how honest you can be. I appreciate that so
Cross
much.
your legs.
We are going to talk later.
So that's, yeah, that mature woman.
I got some things for you.
Cross your legs. Cross your legs. Yeah. So I would say if they're new to lube, I would always try like something as simple, just as water-based. Our body's mostly water, super safe for you. That would be the first lube I would try for a mature. I won't say mature. I'll say a postmenopausal woman who has vaginal atrophy from lack of estrogen from her ovaries, not working as well. Because if I say mature, people will be like, what do you mean? And dry vagina can occur at any age, of course.
Yes.
Like, your boyfriend gets on your nerves, your girlfriend gets on your nerves, all of a sudden your vagina is dry.
Medications,
Medication,
eating too much.
anything, stress, so, okay, postmenopausal women who.
Yeah, I mean, I'm postmenopausal at 35 because I had it surgically, but I always thought silicone lube was the best.
Well, you're an expert though. Your vagina may be,
Oh, you're talking about for a okay, you're right.
Yeah, but
Okay.
The advanced people.
for a beginner, water-based is what you would recommend.
Beginner, yeah. She's like, really, Dr. Dre?
Coyote, one of our student viewers is asking, how would you advise one person or a person in a relationship to introduce sex toys? And what is the best toy for a beginner?
Good question.
Thank you for that question, Tamara, and student person. So communication is everything. And that is going to be the first sex toy that you introduce into your relationship is communication around sex and pleasure. And the introduction of a toy, it should be a really fun thing. It should be like, want to do this thing. I have this idea. Let's go shopping together. And then here's what I'm hoping to find. And what we know is that for many people, they hear, I want a vibrator, and they're like, you're not good enough, or you're not giving me what I need. And so the dispelling of that myth is so crucial for the health of that relationship, because your partner's pleasure and you getting to be a participant in that pleasure is the best thing. And sometimes that participation is from the chair while I'm over here. And sometimes that participation is right next to each other with insertions happening in all the different ways. And so what I would say is, there's something called the yes, no, maybe list that we have on our websites. And it's a wonderful way to go down all the possibilities of sex and sexuality, also sensation play, BDSM, like all of the things, and be like, oh, I'm not into that. Oh, well, I might be into that, or like, yes, let's do that. And that way you're communicating, you're talking about it, you're saying the words, and you're putting intentions out into your relationship. So that's number one. And then in terms of like the toy, it's so difficult because what parts are we talking about, right? So what I would say is any couple, no matter what parts you have, can benefit from a nice palm-shaped vibrator that fits in the palm of your hand. It can stroke a shaft of a penis. It can be cupped over a vulva. It can be placed on nipples. It can be put in between the testicles and the anus. Vibration is electric. Whatever. It's lovely, and it can feel great all over the body. And so anything that you can kind of hold in your hand, it can be reached around and cupped with your partner if you're entering from behind. Just wonderful exploration capabilities. So that's my recommendation. Palm-sized, cup it, touch the whole body and see where it feels good. You might be surprised.
Okay.
That for me is really good because I'm all handy dandy bullet, but having another perspective on it will open the doors to other products that could be a first timer. So thanks. Nicole, I see that you guys partnered with an OBGYN. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have one of the first partnerships in the industry with a woman named Dr. Sherry Ross. She is an author and an OBGYN, actually here based in Southern California. And so our owner had met her, and they were talking about products that Dr. Sherry's patients were asking for, particularly vaginal dilators and lubricants, and what that meant to her patients, and how things on the market were great, but how it didn't meet the needs. So basically her patients, I should say, needed vaginal dilators, but didn't want to sit there and have to, dedicate this time to this, not so great, not so comfortable, not so sexy thing that their body needed. And so how can we accommodate that? So I actually have it here. We did look at, so handy, a vaginal wearable dilator set. So what that is traditional dilators really just help open the vaginal canal and just help stretch the muscles. And so what this is, it has a flat bottom, and so you can wear it daily. So really it's made for, an active lifestyle. So instead of thinking, oh my gosh, I have to do this thing to help my body and it's so annoying, I'm already so busy, what Dr. Sherry wanted was an ability to let these people have their active lifestyle and still be able to commit to their sexual health, because that's really the issue. We all want, we know we need Kegels, but are we going to dedicate 20 minutes a day, 3 times a week? Who has that time? So with vaginal dilators, that's a very crucial thing for many people. And so she wanted a wearable set that you can kind of set it and forget it, and you can kind of go about your day. And so that was the first product we did, and then we've kind of expanded on there. Dr. Sherry is an author of a book called Sheology. She actually has 2 books in that line, and she's really been a women's health doctor, but over the years she's known and she's learned from her patients that women's needs are not the only ones. And so we worked with her for Sheology, and then we've now done a theyology line, so similar to Dr. Dre, and so really made for anyone, for anybody. We have a dilator set in that as well. I don't have it with me, but it's very similar to this, but it has a little bit of a different shape, so you can use them anally, you can also use them vaginally. So really just meeting the needs of her patients. And I think she is such a pioneer in what she does in terms of letting people know about sexual health and wellness from that safe space of a actual OBGYN, because you go to the doctors and you know that they're credible, you know that they have your best interests at heart, or you hope, and you really want that credibility when it comes to something as intimate as sexual health. And so I think having that partnership and that credibility with her has gone a long way. And Dr. Dre, I'm so happy to meet you here, and happy to see another OBGYN kind of doing this and really opening it up, because I think the more we talk about it, the more we get legitimate, doctors and get these real answers out to people, the more that they'll be open and willing to come to these retailers and things like that looking for these products. Because the number one question we get calls probably several times a week from either patients or doctors' offices themselves. Patients are saying, my doctor told me to get a dilator, but I don't know where to go. So that's a problem. Their doctor didn't tell them where to go, didn't really, just said, hey, you need a dilator, and then like, what's step 2? I mean, and then also from medical professionals that say, hey, my patients need these, but I'm not a retailer, I don't want to stock them, like, what can I do? And so I think there needs to be a lot more education around that. So with Dr. Sherry, it's been really great, and we're just kind of expanding on that as well. And then I see another one, Dr. Dre, so I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, it's interesting because one of the things you're sort of bringing up is that there's just not enough like sexuality training in the medical field in general. And we actually, like, our staff trains OBGYNs. Like, we train doctors at different hospitals around our areas and on sex and sexuality and comfort and speaking about it. And for years and years and years, we had a paper catalog that we would send a case to all these different doctors' offices, and they would just circle and then like send the customer in, because that's not something they're trained on typically, and they don't understand, like, vaginismus isn't about relaxing, it's about dilation and vibration and learning to train those muscles. And how many times have we heard someone be like, oh, my doctor told me to relax, but I am relaxed, and so it's really, this industry like is so important for that aspect of, we're trained to talk about sex. We have comfort about it. We don't feel shame about it. We're not judging you that you have a medical situation happening. Oh, you have a dry vagina. Oh, you have a tight vagina. Oh, you have a new vagina. Like, let's show you all the ways that you can enjoy those body parts and with that spirit of like exploration and pleasure, you know, front of mind. So
I
I
love
think
that.
that's
Training a lot
really
of
great.
gynecologists through Loveology University because we have courses on transgender, we have courses on, you know, everything that you can think of that has to do with love, relationships, intimacy, and human sexuality. And so we've actually, this year, we've trained more gynecologists than ever before. And it first came to my mind because my gynecologist used to just send his patients who wanted a vibrator. He was too embarrassed to talk about it. And he would just say, oh, I'm going to send you to one of my other patients. So I think it's really important that we reach out to, you know, not only gynecologists, but urologists. I mean, there's a lot of fantastic medical doctors out there, but they're not trained in human sexuality. And that's why, Dr. Dre, it's so exciting to have you here today.
Yes.
So you are on your maiden voyage on our Sexpert panel. So thank you. We love that.
Yeah, you know, in medical school, sexuality is maybe like one day.
Oh,
Crazy.
It's crazy.
I'm an old doctor, so it was like literally one day.
Yeah,
I'm mature, so it's like one day. So all the education I've gotten, you know, I had to seek it out myself.
right. Well, you were
Definitely,
smarter than all the others.
yeah.
Dr. Jill had to go to a school in Canada. This was probably 15 years ago because it was the only one that had a bachelor's degree in human sexuality. Like there was none in the United States. I mean, that alone tells you something.
right.
And then, yes, I have heard, Dr. Dre, that they get very little. I've heard hours that like
Mhm.
doctors get hours of sex education. And so part of the Inspire line is for that, because these women have gone through cancer treatments and they don't know where to go. And so Living Beyond Breast Cancer really has that community of support. And it's like, okay, I've had cancer, I beat it. What a wonderful thing to celebrate. Now what? Now what can I do? And so the fact that the doctors aren't talking to them about that, it's like, oh, yeah, things are going to happen because you've gone through chemo. It's like, well, what things and what can I do to help? Like, you know, I still have this wonderful life to live. So I think we have such an important job. And, you know, I'm hoping that as the world continues to get more accepting of sexual health and, you know, becomes more mainstream and it becomes more of a thing we talk about instead of, you know, a tiny little thing at the bottom of the page, you know, that doctors are more comfortable, more educated about it.
You know that even MFTs, marriage and family therapists, they don't get to learn much about sex either.
Oh,
So, you know, we're training a lot of MFTs. And the thing is, as you said, now that the world is evolving into a more empathetic direction, people have to realize that a great sex life is part of the quality of your life.
Absolutely.
Improves the quality and it makes you feel happy and gives you the feeling of love and peace and satisfaction and all that. So I'm hoping that, you know, we are getting the exposure that we need.
yeah. One thing I always tell everyone: sexual wellness is wellness. It is wellness. Like
Yeah.
it is wellness. You have to, you know, that's a very, very important part of your life. Yeah.
Totally.
Well, we're getting close to our end. So I want to thank our sponsor, Momentum Intimacy, with their mission to help men and women enjoy great sex and add more excitement to their relationships with their personal lubricants and intimate protection products. All of their lines were created by practicing board certified OBGYN Dr. Dre to promote safety, health, and pleasure. One of our raffle winners is going to win a Momentum gift pack. So Dr. Ava, could you pick that winner for
Oh,
us?
sure. Okay. Our raffle winner today is Erin Tolan. Yay! What is Erin gonna win, Dr. Dre? This is so exciting. I love picking winners.
Well, Aaron's gonna get a box for her, Momentum box for her, and a Momentum box for him. So it would have silicone lube, water-based lube, our hybrid signature line, or organic aloe, as well as a blindfold, some handcuffs, and some other toys to have fun.
Love it.
Oh.
How exciting. I want one too.
And this brings us to the end of our panel discussion on pleasure products and adult toys. I want to thank you all, the panelists, for all your stimulating answers, everything that we could learn from, and even more. Thank you, Dr. Ava and Loveology University for hosting, and thank you, Momentum, for sponsoring our panel of Sexperts. Finally, thank you to all of the viewers watching us. We'll be back next month with a Sexpert panel, a new topic, and new gifts. So we hope that you'll join us. Until then, live to love and love to live. Thank you.
Yay.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks.